B Marsh Boxing back at it with another breakdown and prediction. Joe Smith Jr. versus Eleider Alvarez. Joe Smith Jr. is coming in at 25-3 with 20 KOs. Eleider Alvarez, I believe he's like, I think 25-1, 25-1 with 13 KOs. This is a very good fight right here, and I believe this fight right here is for WBO. It's a WBO title eliminator. At the moment, the WBO title is even vacant at 175. You know what I mean? You know, I don't know what happened over there. You know, usually with the WBO, when the title is vacant, or just in general, like a guy like Gilberto Ramirez, who was the WBO 168-pound champion. When you're a WBO champ, when you move up in weight and vacate your previous title, you get first dibs at a title shot. But I don't know what was really going on with Gilberto Ramirez, man. You know, seems like the man Bob Arum had something to do with him not getting that title shot. So the WBO had proposed like a four-man mini tournament with um, Eleider Alvarez versus Joe Smith Jr. and Gilberto Zudo Ramirez versus somebody. I can't remember. I believe it was a European guy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what happened with that fight, but what I do know is that this fight is being billed as a WBO title eliminator. Like I said, the title is vacant at the moment, but this is a very good fight. This is actually the best fight that Top Rank will have put on. And this is, I believe, August 22nd when this fight comes on. It'll be the best fight that they put on since this COVID hit, you know what I mean? And especially for a WBO title eliminator with the former world champion, very short-lived world champion in Eleider Alvarez versus Joe Smith, you know? So let's get into it, you know? Joe Smith Jr. is a guy, they both about 6 feet, you know what I mean? And, you know, Joe Smith Jr. His conditioning is what the man Eleider Alvarez has to be worried about. This ain't no Sergey Kovalev he's fighting with a bad gas tank. You know, this is Joe Smith Jr., a guy who is an outdoorsman as far as the man works outside, whether it's construction or his other ventures. Or was it? I think he has like a lawn mowing company now, and he's on the ground, boots on the field. You know what I mean? He's putting in the work. You see how cut and diesel the man is. The man is in very good condition. The man punches like a mule with either hand. Ask Fonfora. You know what I'm saying? Now, Eleider Alvarez is by no means a little guy neither. He's a big 175-pound dude. You know, this is a guy that you know, what's up, main boxing bike in the chat? What the deal, man? What's good with you? Yeah, man. You know, so Eleider Alvarez is about 6 feet as well, 76-inch reach. You know, he has a long reach. You know what I mean? And he's a big dude. You know, 13 KOs on his record in 26 fights. You know, would suggest that he's not a big puncher, but Eleider Alvarez he's a boxer puncher. You know what I mean? Not necessarily a big knockout artist, but he knows he has better punch placement than the man Joe Smith Jr. That's for sure. Punches more in straight lines. You know what I mean? More straight punches. You know what I mean? Knows how to, you know, turn his punches in. Joe Smith Jr., if he was a better boxer, Joe Smith Jr. would have all the titles at 175 pounds. You know what I mean? If Joe Smith Jr., him versus Better Beef, if Joe Smith Jr. had the excellent, like a great boxing skill set, he would have at least 2 titles. Better Beef would have 2, and we'd be waiting for that unification because he would have beat Bivol if the man had the boxing skill set, you know? Now, Joe Smith Jr., man, you know, the guy, like I said, can punch with either hand, and his conditioning is superb. You know what I'm saying? The man don't get tired. But this guy, Eleider Alvarez, he got to pump that jab with his long reach. I'm not too sure what the man Eleider Alvarez reaches, you know what I mean? What's up, B More to BK? Dylan Gallagher in the chat. What's up with y'all, man? Thanks for coming through. So the man Eleider Alvarez has to be pumping his jab. Don't stay in the pocket for too long. You know what I'm saying? He could make this an easy fight, or he could make it a difficult fight. You know what I mean? Punches in bunches. Because when the man Joe Smith Jr. gets hit with combination, he tends to shell up. You know what I'm saying? And he's not throwing nothing back. And he'll pump his chest like a tough guy, like, "Come on, bring it. I want some more." But he's actually, that's when a guy like Eleider Alvarez could accumulate points round by round. You know what I'm saying? Is there knocking out a Joe Smith Jr. right now in 2020 in this day and age? I don't I just can't see Eleider Alvarez knocking him out. It could happen, sure. It's boxing. Anybody can get KO'd. It's just the man Joe Smith Jr. is a. I ain't never seen him get stopped. I know he has been stopped once in his early in his career. You know what I'm saying? But he's fought very good fighters. From guys like even Fonfora, who himself was a big puncher. You know what I'm saying? Dimitri Bivol couldn't get this man up out of here. You know, but Joe Smith Jr. is a guy he has right and left hooks. You know what I mean? He's a hooker. You know what I'm saying? Occasionally he has straight punches when he's throwing a lead right. But the man Eleider Alvarez has the more straight punches, the double triple jabs, and this right hand behind it. That's how he lures his opponent, by pumping the jab and moving, making it a boxing fight. But his right hand behind that jab is lightning fast. And I think that's when he can catch the man, Joe Smith Jr. I don't believe the man, Eleider Alvarez, should intend on hooking with the hooker. You know what I mean? Don't do that. You know, he can time him. You know what I'm saying? He can set traps. And look, even the guy, what's the guy's name? Not Eleider Alvarez, Joe Smith Jr. versus his last fight. What's his name? Jesse Hart. Now, you see, Jesse Hart was a guy who never dominated 168. I have no idea why he decided to move up to 175, especially with Azudo Ramirez leaving that division. You know what I'm saying? I think Jesse Hart's more fit for 168 pounds. He got bullied in that fight by Joe Smith Jr. You know what I mean? He just ain't strong like Joe Smith Jr. Naturally strong. And that's what the man Joe Smith Jr. did. He walked him down. The guy was trying to fight on his back foot. Look, you're gonna get ran over like a Mack truck if you ain't stronger than your opponent and you just there trying to fight off the back foot, trying to pump jabs going backwards. And that's how Jesse Hart kept getting clipped, getting caught with shots on the ropes, got even dropped with a mean right hook. You know what I'm saying? And he went down. He tried to get up, try to play it off, but that was the type of beating he was taking. But my point is, with all those winging shots that Joe Smith Jr., those in between, there's opportunities for Eleider Alvarez to counter, especially with uppercuts. Jesse Hart was catching Joe Smith Jr. with mean left uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? And Eleider Alvarez has beautiful combinations when he's letting his hands go. You know what I'm saying? Eleider Alvarez ain't just a guy who just moves around. Nah, he can stand in the pocket too and trade. I wouldn't suggest that he do that with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, with Joe Smith Jr. You know what I mean? He did that with Kovalev, and he caught Kovalev with some mean combinations. You know what I'm saying? And he was throwing some body shots. And that's what the man Kovalev didn't realize. Because if you see now Kovalev fought Eleider Alvarez, he didn't have no respect for him. It's a night and day. The first fight with Kovalev versus the rematch with Kovalev. In the first fight, by the time Kovalev got stopped, I had Kovalev up on the cards, but Kovalev was fighting a stupid fight. He was there trying to bully the guy, just trying to throw punches and bunches. He was getting tagged in between, you know what I'm saying? But his volume punching was winning the rounds, and that's how he got caught. Now, I think Eleider Alvarez can shoot that uppercut or shoot that straight right hand down the pipe, and he has a nice left hook to the body combination. 1-2, 1-2, and a left hook to the body. You know what I'm saying? Or 1-2 and a left hook to the head. And these are shots that I think that he can catch the man Joe Smith with. You know what I mean? I would suggest him they're trading left and right hooks with Joe Smith, but on opportunities for counter shots and combinations, Joe Smith will shell up, and that's where Eleider Alvarez can throw more punches and bunches, combos, and if he seeks an opportunity for a stoppage, he can get that. But I would suggest he would just throw punches and bunches when he shells up and keep him moving. You know what I mean? Stay on the side. Keep giving him angles because Joe Smith Jr. will be the one coming forward. You know what I mean? Now Joe Smith Jr. only way I think he can win this fight is if he catches Eleider Alvarez cold, like how he caught fall 4. You know what I mean? Can he bully the man Eleider Alvarez like he did Jesse Hart? Nah, Eleider Alvarez is a full-fledged 175 pounder. You know what I'm saying? That's a big Colombian kid, you know what I mean? You know, with a long reach, 76-inch reach. But the guy he fought last, Michael Seals, has a stupid long reach on some heavyweight type shit. He's a light heavyweight with a heavyweight reach of 80 inches, you know what I mean? 80-inch reach. So I think Joe Smith Jr. He has to do what's best for him. If he tries to box with the man, it's gonna be a unanimous decision. You know what I mean? Um, he had some glimpses of some good moments when he fought Dimitri Bivol. You know what I'm saying? But Dimitri Bivol also himself fought a safe and smart fight, not hooking with the man. But when he did throw punches and bunches, he had him on the ropes and he had him backing up and just shelling up. And that's how he won himself a wide unanimous decision. And I think the man, Eleider Alvarez, could do the same. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Joe Smith Jr. His story is a great story for boxing, and he's an action-packed fighter. You know, but he can lose wide decisions, especially when he's fighting a guy who's going to stick to the game plan. You know what I'm saying? Um, Fellas in the chat, main boxing biker says, I think Joe Smith took up boxing later in life, so he too not well schooled. Yeah, yeah. Especially because, sometimes them fellas, he throws them punches like winging shots, like, you know, just winging shots and not like left and right hooks. And these, the punch placement is not like turning in your punches and actually landing in spots where you could hurt an opponent. And that's why I think that the man Eleider Alvarez can capitalize all day, every day. You know what I mean? Especially also with the body shots, with that left hook to the liver. Main boxing biker says Joe Smith definitely did hook the alien out the ring straight into retirement. Absolutely, yeah. He caught him with that left hook. You know, it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And he has those hooks. You know what I mean? That's his, and the right and left hooks, not just the left hook. You know what I'm saying? From the typical left hook from the orthodox stance. So, I think the man Eleider Alvarez will win a unanimous decision. I'd probably see him winning 9 rounds to 3, maybe 8 rounds to 4. I think Joe Smith Jr., if he wins any rounds, it'll probably be, maybe in the later rounds and maybe a couple in the middle and early rounds. But I think Eleider Alvarez should win a comfortable decision. You know what I mean? He might face some adversity here and there. Of course, he's in there with a big puncher. In his 23 wins or 25 of his victories, 20 of them have come by KO. You know what I mean? But I think the boxer puncher in Eleider Alvarez has a better footwork, the better punch placements, the better counter puncher, has a better jab, has probably the best jab in the light heavyweight division. You know, he fought guys like Gene Pascal. Gene Pascal was stealing a lot of rounds. That's how the fight was a close fight. You know what I'm saying? Where, a judge watching, even fans at home watching, be like, oh man, this man came through in the last minute or so, and that's how the fight was a close fight, but I thought Eleider Alvarez won that comfortably. And I seen what the man Pascal was trying to do, just trying to steal rounds, trying to work hard in the last minute of the round, because he got a bad gas tank himself. So B Marsh Boxing, big ups to everybody in the chat. I got the man unanimous decision. The Colombian based out of Canada, Eleider Alvarez winning a unanimous decision, 9 rounds to 3, 8 rounds to 4. Joe Smith Jr. can win this fight by KO. And you never know. It's boxing, and it'll be a big upset. You know what I'm saying? If he catches a man cold and he knocks him out. But we shall see. But I'll put my money on the boxer. B March Boxing, I'm gone. Big up main boxing biker, Dylan Gallagher. Be more to BK. Salute to y'all, and I'm out of here. Peace.